You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxshall, in which I chronicle my life and attempts to become a professional writer by, doing some writing daily, hopefully.
Hello, it's Friday the 20th of September 2024, and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm having to record this exceedingly discreetly because I'm at work. I'm on a break, so I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing, but today has not gone according to plan in terms of the flights that I'm on, delays, and mainly delays, no cancellations yet. But what it meant was my original plan was to record this podcast in Istanbul and upload it from there. But the reality is I'm not going to be in Istanbul by midnight at this rate, or certainly not at the hotel. So I thought I'd just record something quick whilst I'm having my lunch. I say lunch, it's 6 p.m, so it's more of a tea. So I'm literally sitting in a canteen area at work, trying to speak a lot less loudly than normal, which means the microphones are very close to my face, which means there may be unpleasant popping noises, more unpleasant than just my normal voice. So I don't really know what I want to say today, because I haven't it's been a bit of a whirlwind kind of day. I wasn't even sure I'd definitely be going to Turkey still. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that flight is delayed, I probably wouldn't be, because the inbound flight that I was on from where was I? Wherever I was. See, it's gone out of my head already. That was ages ago. The inbound flight was delayed twice, so we had a slot delay out of where we were. It'll come back to me in a minute. And then when we landed at Heathrow, there wasn't a gate available for us, so we had quite a long delay before the flight and quite a long delay after the flight before we actually got on to stand. So I literally walked into our report centre just as I was meant to report for the Istanbul flight, but because there's a 2-hour delay, that's acceptable, because I can have a break and I can relax, which is what I'm doing now, before I have to think about working again. So that's what's happening today. Copenhagen, that's where I was. See, my brain's turned to mush, mainly because I'm just exceptionally tired. It's been a long couple of days, but I'd rather do the Istanbul, purely because tomorrow it's one flight home. It's quite late, but it's one flight home, whereas if I'd ended up with a different night stop, I could have ended up doing 3 flights tomorrow, and I'm kind of psyched up on thinking it's going to be one flight and later, which would be nice. I'll be able to chill, may even get some writing done, although we shall see. It is quite hard when I'm doing these trips, and then so hopefully things will work out as normal. I get back from Istanbul tomorrow, and then I go to Boston the day after. Now that flight, again, if we are delayed back from Istanbul, it could potentially affect my ability to do the Boston. I'd really like to do the Boston because it's very unusual. Although it's only a 3-day trip, they're both day flights, which means we actually get 2 local nights in Boston, which for USA trips, certainly East Coast USA trips, is very, very unusual. So I'd really quite like to do it because I can explore, I won't feel rushed. I've got 1 day and 8 hours on the ground, which means my body will be in the right place to sleep twice, so it'll sleep after the flight, then I'll have a normal length day and then go to bed and then get up to do the flight home. And then after that, I've got 3 days off, which I definitely will do some writing. I really need to crack on with chapter 37, so from being 5 days ahead, I'm now looking like this next chapter might either be late, or at least I'll be finishing it on my deadline, which is podcast 48. I was hoping to bring it forward to 43, but that's not looking massively likely now, unless I'm massively productive somewhere. And I think, again, I still haven't had the chance to sit down and mentally shuffle the scenes that need to be in each chapter to work out exactly how it's going to work. As I say, I think I'm going to move the chapter of death to immediately before the prologue, but then I don't know. There's the logic of having it where it was that a few people kind of don't die straight away because they've got oxygen and stuff doing oxygen masks and tanks and stuff that enable them to survive a little bit beyond when most people would. So I've still got lots of mulling over still. I need to literally sit down. This is one of those few occasions where I almost think storyboarding it might work. I need to kind of maybe do a load of post-it notes of the scenes I need to write, and then work out where they need to sit and what order they need to run in. So that might be something I can do in Boston, actually. Do the storyboard and get a load of post-it notes. But we shall see. And I don't usually work like that because I usually have a much clearer idea. The only thing I definitely know is that the current structure I've got for the final 3 chapters isn't going to work. It definitely needs work, and I just haven't had the time to sit down and think. So my brain needs to be completely uncluttered for me to do the mental preparation, the thinking, to work out what needs to happen next. And I haven't had the opportunity to do that in the last few days, and probably won't. I might not even manage to do it in Boston. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I will go to Istanbul, hopefully tomorrow's podcast, unless something changes again, which it may very well do. Hopefully tomorrow's podcast will be from Istanbul. Thank you for listening. I will be back. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my random ramblings, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my Linktree at linktr.ee/Richard Wright, capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.